Ready? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'll call this meeting of the Woodford County Fiscal Court to order. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Squire Taylor.
Here.
Squire Gentry.
Here.
Squire Varner. Squire Carl.
Here.
Squire Downey.
Here.
Squire Blackford. Squire Gill. And Squire Brown. Here.
Thank you. Here to offer our invocation tonight is Tony Harden of Journey Church.
Let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight with a thankful heart. Just thankful to be blessed to be placed in such a beautiful county with beautiful people and with committed leaders. And it's those that I want to pray for tonight, to pray a special blessing on them and all the folks of our community that they represent. Lord, we love you. We dedicate this night to you. And it's in your Son's name and my Savior's name, Jesus Christ, that I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. If you're able, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have some special guests with us this evening. I am happy to welcome the mayor of the city of Versailles, Laura Dake, and the mayor of Midway, Grayson Vandegrift, and the superintendent of Woodford County Public Schools, Mr. Danny Adkins. Mr. Adkins is ending his tenure as superintendent of Woodford County Public Schools, and he's done a tremendous job on behalf of our community, our teachers, our school staff, the parents, and most importantly, the kids. And so we wanted to take the opportunity to honor and recognize Danny Adkins for his service to Woodford County, to our schools, and take the opportunity to send him to his retirement with a big pat on the back and appreciation from all of Woodford County for what you've done. Mr. Adkins, it's been an honor as Judge Executive to work with you, and I mean that because we have worked a lot together and through many different circumstances. One of the things that I would appreciate and really think that our community has really embraced with you is your willingness to work with everybody for the betterment of our kids and our schools. And we've partnered on so many wonderful things and done so many big things in our community, along with our mayors and the cities, that I think any community would be envious of such partnerships. But you've hailed from Eastern Kentucky, and I know that's your home place, but you have a special place here in Woodford County because in your short tenure here, you've done some significant and important things, not the least of which is build a brand new state-of-the-art world-class high school for our kids to enjoy and to learn and thrive in. But it is when we pack the buses for Eastern Kentucky flood relief or the tornadoes in Mayfield, or whether it was all the different projects we've worked on, the Kids Win Parade that we've announced together, all the football games and basketball games and Final Fours and championships we've enjoyed together. It's been an honor to work with you, Mr. Superintendent. So I'd like to invite our mayors up to the podium, and we're going to honor you with a proclamation in honor of Superintendent Danny Adkins. Get your camera ready.
Yeah, we're ready.
Superintendent, we're gonna miss you. I'm not trying to miss those forehead stuff. We're gonna miss you.
Well, I'm going to see y'all entertain one of those here in just a minute. I'm not sure.
Yes, we will. Of course. Of course.
Thank you.
You wanna hold this in?
Sure.
You wanna get a picture? We're good.
Yeah, absolutely. Step in, mayors.
Come on in. You gotta get in the middle.
You get in the middle there,
Dan.
Okay, here we go. Everybody look at me. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Got it.
All right.
Congratulations.
You want to share a few words?
Just very briefly, you was very clear about you is that you always put the kids first, and I don't think there's anything more to be said than that, and that's true of the leadership that you've exhibited. The results are plainly clear, and I think it's impressive to do it in really just the short few years you were here. So I thank you on the behalf of the citizens of Midway. Thank you so much for your service. You've been great. Thank you to work with.
Yeah, and my youngest is 24, so I didn't really get to know you as well as a superintendent. But whenever I've had to email you about something, you're very responsive. You always have stepped up and, just answered me and really appreciate that just since I've been mayor for 6 months. I'm having dinner with one of my friends, Debbie Edelin, who was a former school board member. She is. And I know that she would want me to tell you how much she appreciated your work in getting that school built. So thank you. Thanks for your service.
Yes, ma'am. I just want to say that, my goal again, obviously, was to work for the students and then obviously our staff, but then to be a great community partner. I know just recently, I think Drew had an opportunity to ride around with our transportation director with some FEMA folks, and we were always willing to help. If we had bad weather, and we had a lot of it, you faced a lot of that. You and Drew faced a lot of disasters, really disasters, and I'm proud to say that we were able to help, and we had great partnerships. We did. I look across this room, even unfortunately, I have to look at the county attorney back here and say, I've had not that it's a bad relationship, but we've had to use him. So, thank you for that, county attorney, and I appreciate that. But just everybody in here has been great. Judge, thank you very much.
Thank you. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
So now we get
Absolutely. You guys will entertain me just a second.
Get in there, Gracie.
Oh, yeah, let's get one more forehead selfie.
One more, yeah.
We block Lyles out.
Yeah. I didn't want to miss William back there. William,
You want a special picture?
no. William, I will say I was kidding with Emily the other day that you guys have been job security for me. You keep having kids, and we'll keep finding a place to put them. So we do appreciate that. And again,
I appreciate they've got a good home to go to here in a few years in that new high school. So thank you.
Thank you. But thank you very much. Absolutely. Can I keep that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Thank you all very much.
Judge, I just want to
Yeah,
add, a couple things. One, you really have been a community partner. The Portrait of the Learner, you made a commitment to have investment from the whole community and have that buy-in, and that's a two-way street. So I really appreciate that leadership and that willingness. You really stepped in and walked into this role being a real leader and a part of the community, and it's shown a difference. And probably people can brag on the high school all they want, but I've been working, it took me 10 years to try to get my wife to come from Scott County Schools to Woodford County. You accomplished that much faster than I did, and so I really appreciate your leadership on that as well.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you all. Thank you all for the kind words.
Jordan, do we also have our interns? We want to recognize our interns this year. Thank you, mayors. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Fred. So as part of our Good of the County program, not only are we recognizing Danny Atkins on his excellent service to our school system and our county, we also have two of the products of Woodford County Public Schools, two of our senior interns, Makai Smith and Zoe Ratliff. Makai has excelled both academically and athletically, graduating from Woodford County High School this year, earning admiration from his teachers, coaches, fellow athletes, peers, and community members. Makai is a remarkable multi-sport athlete whose talent, leadership, and determination played a pivotal role in Woodford County, leading us to both Final Four appearances in basketball and football, and bringing pride and excitement to the community. Makai has not only demonstrated excellence on the field and on the court, but also contributed to the hard work of the fiscal court in this courthouse as our intern. And Makai has continued to improve and become a better young man and continue to contribute. And now he will take his talents and his education to the University of Findlay, where he will play football and pursue higher education there. So ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Makai. And Zoe has distinguished herself as an exceptional student, a community servant, an emerging leader in Woodford County High School, following in the steps of Connor Brumley and outshining him in many ways. Zoe has consistently demonstrated dedication and diligence in the classroom, earning the admiration and respect of her teachers and peers and fellow students, as she will graduate in May as well. In addition to her academic excellence, Zoe has shown a strong commitment to civic engagement through the internship with the Fiscal Court and contributed meaningfully not only to the Fiscal Court's operations, but many community and public service initiatives where Zoe has given back. Zoe also works full-time jobs in other areas in the county. She balances her academic and civic responsibilities with professionalism. She works at the Brown Barrel in Midway. She has worked at Wallace Station as well, and she is an excellent customer service and employee, not only for us as the Fiscal Court, but everywhere she has worked. She's proven herself as a leader among her peers, being the 2025 Director General for the Kentucky Youth Assembly, United Nations, and she has championed collaboration, diplomacy, and youth empowerment in and outside of Woodford County High School. Zoe will begin her next chapter in August 2025 as she attends the University of Kentucky, Go Cats, pursuing a degree in social science and humanities with a continued passion for public service. Zoe and Mackay, everybody.
Yes, sir. Let me get y'all over a little bit like this. I can get most of, I can get all, can I get you to come in a little bit? There we go. Make sure I get William looking at his phone. Then let me get a picture of you so we make sure I get your spelling right. I might not be able to get hold of Bill Kane tonight. Man's easy. Oh, let me go and get yours.
Sure, yeah, no why.
I would have put the Y on there.
It's okay, I'm glad you asked. Yeah.
So you all welcome to say anything to the court? Yeah. You good?
Well, this has been a really good opportunity for me, and it's been nice to get to know you all a little bit better, knowing that you're helping make the decisions that allow us to do things like this and be successful and grow up in Woodford County. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both. So Zoe and Mackay are also welcome to continue interning as long as they want, but I imagine they'll probably have bigger and better things to do soon. Thank you all for indulging that as we honor Superintendent Danny Atkins and our senior interns. Thank you all. I'd now move on to public comment. Anybody wishing to address the court or make a public comment? The floor is open. Seeing none, we need to approve the minutes of the special meeting for April 22nd and the regular meeting thereof. Are there any objections to approving same? Seeing none, I'll approve without objections. The committee reports. The Budget and Finance Committee met prior hereto. We approved an animal care and control vehicle from Jack Kane Ford in the amount of $23,500 for a 2020 Nissan Armada. We approved the bid request for a new stretcher for the EMS. One of the big things that we did in that pre-meeting, in addition to our budget work, was we approved the memorandum of understanding draft between the Fiscal Court and the public schools for the EMS career pathway class for next school year. So the county and the public schools will join together for a paramedic EMT training course that will be a pathway class. It will take that course from Lexington, bring it home to Woodford County, and it will be taught by a Woodford County employee in our EMS department. So that MOU was approved by the court and will be sent to the school board for their review, and we're really excited to create a workforce pipeline for our EMTs and paramedics and keep the great talent we have in Woodford County home. We also accepted the statement of qualifications from Bell Engineering for the engineering services for the Millville Sewer Line project. We approved a proposal from Compass for a total of $3,066 for a Woodford County EMS Mental Health Wellness Program for next year for our EMS paramedics and EMTs. We approved the road fluids quote from Woodford Oil. We also approved a facilities reimbursement lease with the AOC. And we approved the employee health benefits and benefits presentation from Assured Partners. The remainder of our committee meeting was to go through every line item of the proposed fiscal year 25-26 county budget. We achieved going through every single line item, and this is our third meeting on the budget, and we will take up the include and exclude list in new business before we conclude our meeting today. That was the total sum of the Committee of the Whole report. Anything additional on there, Madam Treasurer, or excuse me, Madam Clerk? Seeing none. Reports of the Treasurer. Madam Treasurer.
Tonight's balance is $17,221,965.04.
And Madam Treasurer, you wanted to recommend that we renew a CD.
Oh, yes. I sent you all an email earlier. The special that the bank is having is for the 8 months. So I think the difference in the interest makes it worth going a little bit longer than 3 or 6 months. So I just need permission to do that.
So a motion to renew the CD as recommended by the Treasurer. Motion by Squire Taylor, second by Squire Downey. Are there any questions thereon? Seeing none. All those in favor, please vote, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And that motion carries unanimously. Anything else, Madam Treasurer?
I think so.
Great work on the budget. Thank you. Now we have Director Rich Pichter for our Big Spring Park update. You mind to turn on the mic there, Rich? Please, sir.
Yes. So I'm very, very pleased to say this is the last update on Big Spring Park because I'm here to announce that May 21st at 1:30 p.m. we'll be having the grand reopening ribbon cutting ceremony for the park. And we're inviting everybody. It's rain or shine. So Alan George, you're responsible for making sure it's sunny. But the public is invited. Everyone's invited. We'd love to have a big turnout there as we are excited to open this new park to the community.
Very exciting, Rich. Very exciting.
Yes. And I'll take, if there's any other questions related to Parks and Rec matters, as always, I'll be glad to field those.
Yeah, Squire Carl, you're recognized.
Yes. Well, Rich, I heard that through the grapevine that last night you made an announcement to your board that you might want to share with all of us.
Yes. And last night I informed my board that recently I've been named to the board of directors of the National Parks and Recreation Society. So I will officially be serving my 3-year term as a director on the national side of Parks and Recreation at the June convention in Detroit. So I'll be, thank you. It'll be kind of interesting to see how that goes. I mean, other Parks Department executive directors that are on there are like the LA County Parks and Phoenix Parks, and I'm guessing, Judge, their budget's bigger than mine. But we'll deal with that.
I think it probably is. Now, I will say this. Your mother must be very proud of you, Rich, because we are as Woodford County.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Any other questions for Director Pichter?
That means we still have you for another 3 years then to perform that?
Yeah. Definitely,
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Congratulations. That's really neat.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
congrats.
you. Thank you all.
Well deserved.
Look forward to seeing you all on the 21st.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be there. Director Chandler, the flood update, please. Flood recovery update.
Scott, I'll provide you with a copy of this, so you don't have to be tedious in your note taking. So since the last meeting in April, Woodford County was included in a major disaster declaration by the President on April the 24th. This authorized much-needed individual assistance program to help our survivors. We're still awaiting a public assistance declaration for our debris management, emergency protective measures, recreation facilities, and infrastructure cost recovery. There are 2 active declarations for flooding, and survivors may be eligible for one or both of those. If you watch the reports that Judge Kay and I give pretty regularly, you've probably heard this message, but it bears repeating. Survivors can register 24/7 at disasterassistance.gov. They can call 800-621-FEMA, or they can use the FEMA mobile app, or they can visit any disaster recovery center, including the one here in Woodford County. For the April flood, we got some numbers on Monday that FEMA has surpassed 100 registrations, which correlates to roughly half of the flood-affected properties that we found in our damage assessment. Those updated numbers stand at 19 destroyed, 112 major, 12 minor, 19 affected, for a total of 213. And if you'll recall, our initial estimate was 250, so we were pretty close. One caveat, 112 major, some of those properties are categorically destroyed. They are facing a dollar amount of restoration cost that exceed 50% of the property value. So the only way they can get the necessary permits to build back in the floodplain is by elevating the structure. Some of those structures are in such a condition that they are not candidates to be elevated, which leaves the option of demolishing and rebuilding something higher. And if you've gone through the flood affected areas, you've seen elevated structures where there's no living space on the ground floor and everything. The first floor is the second floor, etc. So 112 major is a little bit deceiving. Our the disaster survivor assistance teams continue their door-to-door knocking, trying to register as many households as they can in the field and offer education about the process. It's been a revolving door, both in Judge Kay's office and downstairs in planning and zoning. There's a lot of activity going on, and I'm happy to say that most people have left somewhat satisfied with the answers that they were able to obtain. A DRC, a Disaster Recovery Center, is still operating at the Senior Center. I expect that to stay until probably mid to late June. And that's in the county park at 185 Beasley Road inside the Senior Center. Their hours are Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sunday they're open from 1 to 7 p.m. And it's got representative not just of FEMA, but the Small Business Administration, Kentucky Emergency Management. I've seen USDA vehicles parked out there, so there's a lot of resources available. We still have families displaced from their homes. Many of them made their own arrangements for temporary housing, but many of them have also been assisted by Kentucky Emergency Management and Red Cross. I'm happy to say that everybody was transitioned out of the shelter, and that closed on April the 25th, and they only did so once they were able to transition that last family into some midterm housing. A longer-term temporary housing solution will come from the Commonwealth in the form of the Kentucky Housing Program, but we're dependent on that public assistance declaration for that. I would note that if anybody is still needing assistance with housing or other things not covered by FEMA, they can still call the Red Cross. They're a valued community partner, and just because they don't have a physical presence here like they did doesn't mean that they've gone home and packed up their things. There's a lot of interest in mitigation activities. I think you started to see some of that reveal itself in the budget presentations earlier. Most folks are interested in buyout, and over half of the properties I reported to earlier have requested additional information when it comes available. So pending any questions, I'll just close out with our Kentucky Disaster Survivor Hotline at 502-607-6665, our Woodford County Helpline at 859-753-8228. We've got our flood resources page, which is kept up to date at woodfordcountyky.gov/flood. And then we've got that Woodford Alerts flood notifications. They can text Woodford KY flood to 77295, or go in and check that box for their existing Woodford Alerts profile.
Thank you, Director Chandler. And let me say that the flood may feel like it's over and somewhat of an afterthought at this point, but the reality is that my office, emergency management, road, maintenance, planning commission, and recycling, solid waste, various other departments are still actively in the flood recovery efforts, working many hours a week and many more hours a month, and that will continue. The one thing that Director Chandler and I have done in traveling the county is, you never say never, but this was the largest disaster in Woodford County history, and it will be one of the largest to ever happen because of how it happened and where it happened. There's simply few other things that could bring this type of devastation and destruction to our community. And so we reiterate this often, but I just encourage everybody to remember those who are displaced, that are suffering, that are dealing with the challenges from this flood, because it'll be weeks, months, and years for them when many people have forgotten about what happened in April of 2025. I know that this fiscal court and our employees will continue to work on the problems, but we'll be talking about the flood of 25 for generations to come. Thank you, Director Chandler. Squire Brown.
May I ask him something?
Yes, sir.
What happens to the property if they sell it out and they decide to not go pie with it? What happens to the land then?
If I'm understanding your question correctly, if they sell it and walk away, that would be the successor owner's problem to deal with, or it would be their property to make decisions about. If the property changes hands, they're still required to get our local building permit, which they can only get if they're in the floodplain by getting a floodplain permit, which is a state and federal process. If we don't adhere to the floodplain permitting process, it could jeopardize everybody's flood insurance, and that's a non-negotiable as far as I understand we've been concerned.
Yes.
So in other words, if they do sell out, if anybody builds again, it's got to be higher up, not get back in the house again, right?
Yes and no. There's a substantial damage classification. It's called the 50% rule. If the cost of the renovations exceeds 50% of the property value, they have to elevate the structure, whether it's the existing or tear that down and build a new one. If it's the current owner or a successor owner, I don't think that makes a difference.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So they can build back again or flood out again? Is that what you're saying?
Feasibly, yes. If they go through all the necessary steps, yes, they could rebuild a structure in the floodplain.
So they can get insurance again in the whole 9 yards?
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay.
It would probably be very much more expensive if it was eligible at all. Yeah. Other questions for Director Chandler? Seeing none? Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you and our EM staff. All right. We have a series of email approvals that need to be ratified. April 22nd, the revised annual standing order to include the Fund 30. Is there a motion to ratify, saying?
Motion.
Motion by Squire Carl, second by Squire Gentry. All those in favor, please vote, signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. The April 28th email approval of the supplemental letter agreement and the change order with AECom for the Big Sink Sidewalk project to begin final design. Motion to ratify, saying.
So moved.
So moved.
Motion by Squire Varner, second by Squire Downey. All those in favor, please vote, signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries. The April 29th, 2025 email approval for the signature of the County Road Aid Agreement for 25-26 and adopting Resolution 2502 in order for our County Road Aid Agreement to go through. Need to ratify same.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Carl, second by Squire Gentry. All those in favor, please vote, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously. You all know that we extended the FEMA land use agreement, an extension for the Disaster Recovery Center at the Senior Center. Need to ratify that vote of April 29th. Squire Taylor, second by Squire Carl. All those in favor, please vote, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. We had to approve the amended County Clerk's quarterly report for March 31, 25. I need a motion to ratify same. Motion by Squire Brown, second by Squire Carl. All those in favor, please vote, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And that motion carries. And then we approved the bid from Harp Enterprises in the amount of $55,530 for election equipment, specifically Verity printers. Motion. Second. Gentry and Carl. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And that motion carries unanimously. The claims, the bills to be paid by this county are before you. Are there any questions or comments on any of the bills to be paid? Are there any objections to any of the bills to be paid? Seeing no objections, I will approve the bills to be paid without objection. We also need to approve claims for the disbursements in the amount of $7,000 to J&S Services, $1,400 to Ricky Foley for the rental of a dump trailer, $13,000 for Tipton Installations, $3,200 to PST Septic and Excavation for debris hauling and dumping. All of these related to the April 2025 flood. I need a motion to ratify those disbursements.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Brown, second by Squire Taylor. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. We also had an email approval for the disbursement in the amount of $15,000 to Tipton Installation for debris hauling and removal related to the April 2025 flood.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Gentry, second by Squire Carl. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion carries. At the recommendation of Road Supervisor Bo Wilson, we approved the disbursement in the amount of $5,000 to buy a crane for the use at the Woodford County Road Department from Charlene Knight. $5,000 to Charlene Knight. Is there a motion to approve same? Motion by Squire Brown. Second by Squire Gentry.
Goodbye.
All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And those claims and bills are paid unanimously. I need a motion to approve the transfers as presented. Motion by Squire Brown, second by Squire Carl. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Need to approve the personnel order as presented.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Gentry. Second by Squire Brown. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the personnel order is approved as presented. In addition to the approval of our health benefits plan, we also need to approve the Section 125 plan and the flexible spending account renewal. Is there a motion to approve same for FY 25-26 and all the associated costs therewith? Motion by Squire Carl. Second by Squire Taylor. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries. Here's a piece of county business that I think is important and something that I'm excited to announce. We worked with the Woodford County Fair Association and Mr. Danny Ray White to rename the county pulling track the Danny Ray White Pulling Track at the Woodford County Fairgrounds. And so I need an official motion to make that renaming official on the Woodford County Fairgrounds.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Taylor, second by Squire Carl. I would note that on May 31st at the motorsports event at the pulling track that we will have the official ceremony for this renaming should it pass. All those in favor of renaming the County Park Pulling Track to the Danny Ray White Pulling Track, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And that motion carries unanimously. We need to approve the facility use request for the exhibit hall for the Woodford County Farm Tour on July 27th through 29th. Motion by Squire Brown, second by Squire Gentry. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And that motion carries. As I mentioned, as part of new business, we're going to go through the include and exclude list. In the line item 7150, I would request that the fiscal court include the $150,000 additional budget for the Affordable Housing Initiative, which again would have to be voted on by the full fiscal court prior to any expenditure thereof. Is there a motion to include same in the budget?
Motion.
Motion by Squire Gentry, second by Squire Downey. Open up the floor for any questions. Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries unanimously. The election Verity printers that we discussed earlier, we will wait and see if those will be expensed in this budget prior to the first reading. And move on to the maintenance courthouse renewals and repairs. Squire Gentry, did you want me to recognize you for a suggestion on that?
Yes, I think we should probably do all of them except for the stone repair in that block of line items.
So in the line item of a total amount of $143,000, you would recommend that we approve $43,000 and exclude the portico stone repairs?
Yes. Judge.
Yes, Squire Downey.
And I was just going to comment as well, as chair of maintenance and facilities, I would love to approve all the expenditures, quite frankly, but I tend to be in agreement with Squire Gentry looking at some other items that I'd like to prioritize that I would also be in favor of removing the stone repairs.
So we will not, we will exclude the...
Judge, may I ask something?
Yeah, Squire Brown, you're recognized.
Is water getting behind the brick and stuff?
Director Wade, do you mind to answer that question?
The stone does have some relief that allows the water to escape, but it is a freeze thaw that's happening around the handrails. But I think we're okay for a year or two. But I wanted to revisit and put it in. So.
Thank you, Director Wade. Squire Brown, anything additional?
No, thank you.
Then upon the motion of Squire Gentry for the $43,000 in additional and to exclude the $100,000 portico stone repairs in the budget, is there a second to that motion?
A second.
Second by Squire Downey. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And that motion carries. I'll move on to the item of the requested new vehicle for county maintenance. Is there a preference of the court to include or exclude? Squire Downey.
Based on Director Wade's recommendation and the mileage of the current vehicle, I would be in favor of keeping the new truck request in this year's budget.
There's a motion.
Second.
Second by Squire Brown, sorry. Are there any questions thereon? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries. The request for the man lift.
Make a motion.
No motion.
It's motion by Squire Brown, second by Squire Taylor. All those in favor, please vote signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. That motion carries. The next item would be the Government Center recommendations that have not been included. Squire Gentry, did you have a recommendation on that?
Yes, I'd like to exclude the HVAC replacement, at least for a year probably, and do, let's see, that'd be 35,000 for that block of line items.
So that would be 35,000, including 12 for exterior painting, 13,000 for new 6-inch gutters, and the $10,000 exterior LED lighting package.
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve those in the budget and exclude the HVAC replacement?
Make the motion, Judge.
Motion by Squire Downey, second by Squire Gentry. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And that motion carries. Moving on to the off-site repairs and maintenance. My understanding is that we would like to consider the parking lot expansion, stadium lighting, and the scoreboard and sound system as joint projects contingent upon cost share and additional funding. So that would be included in the receipts line item for those 3 items. Is there a motion for that?
Motion.
Motion by Squire Carl.
Second.
Second by Squire Downey. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And that motion carries. The next item is the proposed emergency management storage building. We have $250,000 in insurance grant proceeds. We would look at a cost share with the city and potentially selling the EMS station in Midway to help fund this $616,000 estimated project. Under that assumption, with those receipts in mind, is there a motion to approve that as part of the off-site maintenance and repair budget? Motion by Squire Carl, second by Squire Taylor. Are there questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries. Yes, Rick.
Can we back up on the storage in the courthouse rental? Remove that. 6,000.
So upon Rick's recommendation, we would remove the storage rentals in order to fund, in order to have the storage building.
I think we should probably go ahead and leave it in there just in case we don't go ahead with the EMS. If everything doesn't go through, you still have a backup plan.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think that's fine.
Good catch, both of you.
So the other item is the theater lighting and sound and flooring replacement. The estimated total cost is $300,000 for that, but we would be looking at a cost share with the theater. So we don't know how much that cost share is, but is that something we want to go ahead and include in the off-site maintenance and repair budget? Or do we want to get more information prior to the next meeting? All right, we'll hold off on that.
It's a 50/50. It's a great project, but I don't know if they have.
We will get some more information on that for everyone. We will also know the bid amounts prior to our next meeting. And just so everybody knows, we may need to circulate a email approval in order to include that before the first reading, but I will let you know. But without objection, we will exclude that for the time being to get more information. Rick, the senior citizens exterior paint, we decided to hold off on that for a year.
Yes.
All right. The annex repairs, we already voted on. We need to make a decision on the recycling solid waste new vehicle. Yes. Let me, before we go to the new vehicle, Squire Varner, if I may ask if you're available, or are you familiar with the request for the additional dead animal removal amount?
Yes, I am, Judge. I don't know, is it showing that it's doubled?
Yes,
Is that what
sir.
you're building?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me look into that. I don't think that's doubled. I believe they've some way or another that's been doubled on our sheets, but let me look into that. Can we hold that to the next meeting before our first reading?
Yes, sir. Thank you for that. We appreciate
All right, I'll take care of that. Thank you.
it. Squire Gentry, for road maintenance equipment, was it your recommendation to include the tandem dump truck, which would be half of that total expense?
Yeah, yes, that would be my motion. That'd be my motion.
So a motion to include half of that expense for the new tandem dump truck in the road department budget. Is there a second?
I'll second
Second by
that,
Squire
Judge.
Brown. All those in favor, please vote, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And finally, as a way to work with the Woodford County Fire Department, the dry hydrant assistance cost estimated at $40,000 to work on dry hydrants and improve insurance ratings across the county. Is there a motion to include that?
Motion.
Motion by Squire Varner, second by Squire Brown. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And that motion carries. And that is the total sum of the items to include and exclude from the Woodford County fiscal year budget. Any other cleanup items?
Solid waste. I don't think we.
Oh, yeah, no, we,
haven't done the solid waste truck.
all right, so is there a preference on the recycling solid waste vehicle?
I'd like to hear a little bit more about what the need is on it.
Okay.
I don't know that I may have missed that somewhere.
It was presented in the first budget meeting. However, we can get some more information from recycling and get back to
I
you.
apologize if I missed that then.
No, you're okay.
I don't know it either.
Well, we'll get some more information on that, and we will take it up forthwith. All right. Madam Clerk, is that the total sum of business come before this court today? Seeing so, magistrates. It is not due yet, into the fiscal year. Thank you. Squire Downey.
Nothing, Judge.
Squire Brown.
Judge, have you talked to the state about 169 or?
And the project that they're working on?
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
No, well, from 33 to Shannon Run, do you know anything about that?
I am aware of what they are talking about doing.
Okay.
But I can get you some more information on that.
Well, we got a new engineer, and I met with him on some guardrails and stuff about 2 weeks ago. I need to talk to him again to be sure, because it's some money going to be spent that I don't think we know nothing about, that they've done it themselves, because when the state come, they didn't say anything about 169 for blacktopping and stuff to Shannon Run. So I got to be sure that's why I asked if you knew anything about it, because they said you come up with some extra money, but him being you, I don't know for sure. So that's why I was asking.
I'll get you the
find out.
details
Okay.
on that project, Squire Brown. Yes, sir. Thank you. Squire Taylor.
Nothing, Judge, thank you.
Squire Gentry.
Nothing, thank you.
Squire Carl. Mr. County Attorney, sir.
No, Judge.
We've had a long day of work. I really appreciate everyone's hard work. Squire Varner. Squire Varner, did you have anything, sir?
That's what I was waiting on, Squire.
No, thank you, Judge.
I didn't think you did. He's working hard, working hard. Thank you all for all the hard work. Great job. We appreciate it. The Sun?
The Sun would just like to extend its thanks and gratitude to the Woodford County Attorney for being amazingly helpful in helping us understand. All we get are the dockets, and Alan was a big, big help today, so thanks.
Thank you, Mr. County Attorney. Thank you, everybody. We are adjourned. God bless you, and God bless Woodford County.